Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm honored that you've chosen to give up a little time on this solstice to come together for our benefit, each of us individually, all of us together, all of us that are gathered here, but people all over the country, people all over the world here on this call. And also, as they say, for the benefit of all beings, because when we call light to us in this circle, that light ripples. And it is of benefit, not just to us. It's a benefit to our ancestors. It's a benefit to the many, 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 many souls who are clamoring for light, needing light, having, for various reasons, turned away from it and ready to turn to it. So here we are on this Zoom call, each of us in the comfort of our own home. And yet, as we come together, we create something entirely different, something beyond each of our individual desires, our individual prayers, which we will also make here in a few minutes. So as we always do in everything we do, the first thing we do is come together in the heart. So many people on this call have studied with us over time. Some have not. What I'm going to lead us into right now is very simple, very straightforward, and very real, which is the following. I'm going to ask everybody here to join me in invoking what we call the three groundings. So that means, if you will, close your eyes and just for a moment pay attention to the sensation of your breath coming into your blessed vehicle, filling it, and then relaxing. Every spiritual work, every spiritual path honors, respects, and uses the breath. Like that. Now pay attention to the sensation of your feet, or if you're sitting on a cushion cross-legged, the bottom of your body. And as you breathe, extend that awareness through the chair, through the cushion, through the floor, through the apartment floors to the earth. And just rest for a moment. Everybody is doing what you're doing right now. Everybody is helping you do it. Some of us are more challenged than others in our connection to the earth. That's simply information for us to have for our continued path. Like that. There you go. Now, if you would, put one hand on your lower belly and one hand underneath your collarbone and breathe between your hands. As you inhale, draw the energy up your center from the bottom to the top. Hold that for the count of 3. And then exhale, go the other way. You're activating your center. None of this that I'm saying is metaphorical. Many of you have heard me say this many times. This is what I do every day in my meditation. Breathe in that center. Now drop your upper hand and put it right over your heart center. And as you breathe in, extend the energy from the back of your heart to the front on your inhale. Gather halfway in up your inhale, gather the energy behind your heart, and then breathe it through the front. Keep doing that until you feel something. You're going to feel something relax. Your mind calms a little bit. Like that. There you go. Everybody's doing the same. Everybody around the world on this call is doing what you're doing, supporting you, witnessing you, helping you, as you are helping me. There. How simple. Now we'll come back to the heart in a moment. What I want you to do is put your hands behind your head, your palms facing upwards, your thumbs touching the back of your head, top of your neck. And again, as you inhale, push your hands upward gently, opening the tube that is behind your head. You have a vibrating tube, a chimney, so to speak, that is your light receptor pole. Your light receptor tube. Go all the way up as far as your hands will go. Keep your palms facing up. And when you get to the top, put the back of your hands together and then open the aperture. Open the hole at the top of your aura so that light can get to you when we call it here in a few minutes. Do that 2 more times. Now, this is a little more abstract, and this takes practice. It all takes practice. This is something that takes practice, but I can tell you, this is not metaphorical. This is where this tube exists. It's the secret of this work. Like that, like that. Now, come back to that original configuration. Grounded on earth, breathing in your center, centered in your heart now. Now, place your hands in front of your heart, make a shelf. I'm going to raise myself up here a little bit so you can see. Like that. Make a shelf right in front of your heart. This is not in front of my heart, it's in front of my throat chakra, but you can see what I'm doing. Make a shelf. And that in whatever is your way, feeling, seeing, sensing, imagining, walk out and sit on the end of your fingers. Put your awareness to where your fingers are extended in front of your heart. Many of you have done this with me many times. My question to you is, how many times a day do you do it now? We are collectively creating together, all of us, everywhere we are, the space of compassion like that. Compassion is at the distance of your fingers all the way around your body. This is one of the discoveries of this work, one of the revelations of this work, is the actual location of where compassion lives. We're not counting on the Dalai Lama to be our compassion for us anymore, or for the children under 1 year old. Now, put the heel of your hands where your fingers are. In other words, you just went 50%, go another 50% out. In front of your heart. Make sure it's in front of your heart. There you go. Now, you, me, everybody on this call, and many, many people around the world, conscious and unconscious of what they're doing, are invoking the energy of faith. Faith. Faith is one of those things that the religion stole from us and declared that they owned it. Nobody owns faith, because faith is a universal cosmic force built into every creature. Now you're invoking it consciously. And we're going to come back to this in a few minutes, because that's where you're going to put your prayer for when we receive light together. Now just come back, breathe, be in your configuration. You have just learned or relearned what you knew when you were a baby. Grounded in your body on earth, centered in your heart, available to receive light. Okay. Now, I want to say a couple things more. Keep breathing in your heart. Just receive what I have to say. I hope that it will be of use to you. First of all, what we're doing right now is the basis of healing. Basis of all healing, true healing, is availability to healing, availability to light. We did a class last week in which I said spirituality equals availability, because these forces are real. Force of compassion, the force of forgiveness, the force of justice, the force of mercy, the force of grace, force of love. These are real, actual forces that come to us when we are ready to receive them. And our job as the incarnate member of the team is to be available. Then our secret is we're given the right and the responsibility and the method to call them. You see? Because we are in the time, my brothers and sisters, my dear ones, of co-creation. We are given huge latitude as humans at this point. We can see how it's being used, how the latitude is being used, right? In various ways. But you can't have it both ways. We can't be allowed free choice and then be told, but you can only use it that way. That's the old paradigm. That's people praying, God, please save us. God, please save us. God, please save us. God, please save us. No, we are in a collaborative moment. And the basis of that collaboration is the availability to those spiritual forces. That's my understanding. And that's what I teach, and it's what I do, is make myself available. How do I do that? By the cultivation of the vibration of my heart and the revelation of the light that is in me. See, so we're going to call light. Light is ubiquitous. Light is everywhere. There is a source of light that is in the esoteric path. They call it the central sun, the sun behind the sun, behind the sun, behind the sun. There is a source of universal light that we are getting ready to link to here in just a few minutes. What I'm doing every day is training myself by tuning into this space deep in my heart and revealing the light in me that calls to that light. Okay? In a way, what we are doing is witnessing our own birth. We are witnessing the birth of the Christ in us. We are the three kings. What were the three kings symbolically? They were the witnesses. Why three? Three is the geometry of a triangle. So it is the solid form. The basis of material reality is the triangle. So we are the three kings and for each other. And what we do in spiritual work and what we do in healing work is we witness for each other. One of the most powerful things humans can do for each other, my dear ones, is witness. Not fix, not give advice, I don't tell you what to do. I witness what is possible from the space of compassion. So in that same way, in a few minutes when I'm going to receive light, I am the available protagonist, but also the witness to my own birth, to my own healing. And since light is universal and light is infinitely abundant, my receiving this light helps you. Your receiving it helps me. This is a completely false paradigm that there's only a limited amount, and if I take my share, then I'm taking it from you, so I better take more so you don't have yours, right? The basis of the economic system that we live under. But it's not true. It's not objectively, spiritually true. So we affirm the truth. The more light I receive, the better it is for me, the better it is for all beings, the better it is for you. I want to say something else here. Very important from my point of view, what I've learned and what I'm learning. What we are doing is illuminating everything in us. That includes the darkness. What is the darkness? The darkness is what is hidden. The darkness is what is contracted. The darkness is what is potential, but gets covered by ego, gets covered by shame and guilt and pride. And so I push it away. I push it away over here. I push it away here. I push it away here. One of the beauties of this work is we discover where it is so we can actually focus a beam of light to it and own it all. To be in light is not to deny darkness. To be in light is to receive all your parts, your glories, the dents from your trauma, from your past, from your karma, and to be involved as a witness and as an active participant and as a co-creator in the healing of that. What healing means what? Healing means moving toward harmonious relationship of all those parts. Illness is that we are divided. Our parts have been sectioned off from each other, and there's a chaotic, non-harmonious internal battle in some cases going on in our field, in our aura, in our vehicle. By definition, in natural medicine, harmony equals health, harmony and movement. You see? So I'm owning it all. I'm bringing it all in. I'm playing Ollie in free, with the hide and seek of all my parts. Ollie in free. Boom, boom, come. The guide of this work, who I hope will make an appearance later on, said a few weeks ago, he said, light seeks its beloved darkness. And in the interaction of those two beloveds is what transformation and new birth is, within which transformation and new birth occur. Light seeks its beloved, the darkness. It's a different paradigm, right? Darkness and evil are not the same thing. Darkness and illness are not the same thing. Without darkness, light that actually doesn't have any meaning. It has vibration, but it doesn't have a meaning. Meaning is given in relation to yin and yang, in relation to. It's opposites, seeming opposites. It is in that interaction that we grow. It is in the friction of light and darkness, in the bubbling and the transformation and the revelation that is our true spiritual path. That's what I know. You have your own. We have a secret that I referred to earlier. Light is real. Light is here now. We're going to focus it. We're going to call it in now, probably 6 minutes here. But it's real. And it doesn't have ideology. It doesn't have opinion. It doesn't have prejudice. It doesn't have any isms, right? All those isms. It doesn't have any of that. It is available to be used. Somebody asked me a few weeks ago, Shannon asked me, so what's the difference? What makes, where you refer to the Christ light, right? So that doesn't have anything to do with a religion. It has to do with a particular vibration. You refer to the Christ light. What makes it that? I didn't know the answer. I just said, I was like, I don't know. The guide came and said, when it is received through the heart and received in this configuration, the quality of the joining of the human heart with that light is what creates the Christ light, the Christed consciousness, which means anointed. Christ just means anointed. It's in that interaction of something filtered through the human heart that the Christ is born in us. Huh? That's something to study. I'm studying it. I was like, wow, I never thought of it that way. I'm giving it to you on this solstice as a gift for you to contemplate. Here's the other thing about the light. The guides ride on it. Many people come to our work and say, I want to know my guides. I really want to know. No. What you want to do is you want to cultivate your relationship with light. Whatever your guides are, your higher self, those beings who help you, your team, the ones who are not incarnate, that are helping you in your incarnation, and maybe others beyond that, they need a vessel to be available for them to come and work. They're stepping through the veils to come to you. See? All this sounds very esoteric, but it's not. To me, it's not. It's what I do every day, right? I'm in my meditation, and then I do my healing sessions, and then I lie in bed sometimes when I can't sleep. It happened the other night. I couldn't sleep for a couple hours, and I lay there and I breathed in my heart, and I was amazed. I was amazed at the light that I felt and saw emanating from this space deep in my heart. And the truth is, the rest of the day, I was actually a pretty nice guy. All the stuff that's floating around, all the considerations and the opinions and all that stuff that we're dealing with nowadays, huh? The isolation and the fear, and oh my God, here's another variant on the pandemic. What are we all going to do now? Oh my God, I'm going to be wearing a mask for the rest of my life, and I'm never going to be able to go to a restaurant and then they're going to shut everything down. Right? And the ones who hate it and the ones who don't, and the ones who are declaring that called me a Nazi because blah, 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 blah. All of that needs to, is crying to, is begging to be held in compassion. Begging. Everybody wants the same thing. All beings want to be free. All beings want to be in light. It's just that we express it in some ridiculous ways, where we create exactly the opposite of that which we really want. Do I know for sure that each one of you wants it? No, I make an assumption because everybody I've ever met does. Even the people that didn't like me and the people I didn't like and the blah, 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 blah. We all want the same thing. We just have ridiculous ways of going about it. So I'm learning here in this space with you to be a vessel of light as much of the time as I can manage it, still being an incarnate human with all my stuff that I have to transform. What can we do in this time? I'm alluding to it. Everybody's called to do what you're called to do. I know there's people on this call that are doctors and nurses and lawyers and social workers and activists and politicians and all this. We're called to do what we're called to do because we are householders and we are humans doing human things. We can do it with light as an experiment. What if I go into this conversation that I have to have a very difficult conversation tomorrow, I'm telling you. What if I go into it breathing in my heart with compassion and faith and calling light to everybody involved? What's going to happen? You're inspiring me to do that. Some of you, I'll let you all know. What happens if instead of getting caught in the yes and no and I hate this and boo and blah, which I can do, what if I call light? What's going to happen? What if I'm dealing with my illness? If I'm dealing with my body that is going through difficulties, right? I'm going to tell you a story, and then we're going to do what we're going to do here. I was actually working with a client today, a very, very, very beautiful person who's in a very difficult moment, right? Very difficult. She has a child who has decided to go live on the streets, consciously decided at 15 years old to go be a drug addict on the streets. Wants to do that. And her family, she has very difficult family relations, many, many things on her. She said to me, I said, well, what do you need? She said, I feel like I'm being squeezed. I feel like I'm carrying rocks on my body. I feel like there's no space for me inside me, and like that. I said, well, what do you want? Right? She didn't say, oh, I want my son to come home. And of course she wants that. She said, I want to reconnect with my light so that I have faith to keep going and that I have a perspective beyond this difficulty. Check it out. The prayer we make should be ideally positive. You see what I mean? Positive. Of course I don't want my pain. I don't want my craziness. I don't. But the don't actually interacts with the thing itself and hangs and holds it to me. Because the don't is actually an expression of less faith. No, I don't. No. What do I want? What I want, the prayer that changed my entire life was when I prayed to live in my heart. And I had plenty of stuff that I needed to transform. But when I prayed, I want to live in my heart. Teach me to live in my heart. Help me to live in my heart. Let me feel what it feels like to live in my heart. Everything else from there has to transform because all of those things are keeping me from living in my heart. And so they come up naturally and I'm witnessing them and boom, there they are. And then I make a specific prayer. Okay, that I call light to that. That I call light to that. I'm learning that. Oh, that thought I had, that was my trauma thought. Okay, I'm going to transform my trauma thought. I'm going to bring it all into my heart and I'm going to put it on the altar of faith. Help me. And by doing that, I come to live in my heart. See, it's not just abstract, like someone's going to, a bolt of lightning is going to come and boom, put me in my heart. I'm learning by the act of placing my prayer on the altar of faith, which is in my heart chakra, by holding compassion for it, and by receiving light to come down through it, I am coming to live in my heart on a practical, vibrational, energetic level. It's a great system. It's not a panacea. It's not like, right? Of course, there are healing. We have, in our spiritual work, there are people who walk in with cancer and walk out without it. That happens sometimes, enough that we all are like, wow, okay, let's keep going. But most of the time, no. Most of the time, it's a process, a transformative process that is calling us to learn to be the transformative agent of my own healing, and then for some of us to be that for others. Okay. I've given you a lot of boom, 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 boom. I hope you'll go back, listen to it if it grabs you. It is my 100% intention to give you some tools on this solstice, huh? The solstice is a time, is a time out of time, right? It's a moment when there is a particular balance of natural forces, cosmic forces, of earthly forces. It's a time of stillness before we enter a new phase. It's the end. It's like the breath, and you hold your breath for a little while, and you're in that moment of transformation, of beyond time, beyond space. See? So that's where we are in the Northern Hemisphere. Southern Hemisphere, it's the summer solstice. So in this moment of solstice, I'm going to ask you in one moment to make your prayer. But I have a special thing that I want to do here before we do this. Completely out. This is like parentheses. There's somebody on this call who is a very, very beautiful, special, incredible person, and it is her birthday. Her name is Joan Casey. And I'm sitting here today a lot because Joan Casey had faith in this work. And then I'm not exaggerating. Right? She is a special, incredibly beautiful person who does more for other people and is learning to do some stuff for herself too. So tonight, she's going to receive lots of light with y'all, with all of us. So happy birthday, blessings, Joan, health, happiness, peace, right, for you. So now, dear ones, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go back to the beginning. And you're going to invoke the three groundings. Let me say to those who have done this with us before, I'm reminding you, and those who have not done this with us before, I'm teaching you something that you can use as the basis of your spiritual work. Go back, grounded on earth, centered in the heart, receiving light. Grounded on earth, breathing in your center, coming to your heart, and stepping into the space of compassion and faith. Like that. There you go. Now, everybody's doing the same. So extend yourself, right? You're going to receive light, which is going to come vertically down through your channel, but extend your awareness of your heart horizontally. There you go. Everybody on this call, 130, 140 people, everybody is helping you. And you're helping me, and I'm helping you, and we're helping each other to hold this space, right? Because 140 people is exponentially stronger than 140 individuals. There you go. Some of you are going to feel it. Feel it. We just linked our hearts. Pay attention to how you know what just happened. For me, my chest expanded. I relaxed. I got happier. I got a little flushed. I'm like, whew, I know that I am with you. There you go. Like that. Now, at this moment in your life, you have a prayer. Prayer may be, oh Lord, oh Mother, oh Goddess, oh Jesus, oh universe. It may just be, here's what I really want. Here's what I want for my own healing, for my own evolution. Like that. Like that. Now, step into that space of faith, right? In front of your heart. If you're a linear person, it's about 1.5 feet in front of your heart. Right there, there's an altar. What is an altar? An altar is a place of supplication, a place of devotion, a place of surrender, a place of mystery. It has nothing to do with a particular religion, right? A tree is an altar, right? A lake is an altar. A mountain is an altar. Put that prayer on that altar. Put it there. See it, feel it, invoke it, imagine it, say it. Put it on the altar. Like that. There you go. Now, breathe in your heart. Faith tells you that your prayer has been heard, which it has. It has been registered. It has. And it will be answered now by the radiation of light, which we are going to invoke right now. I'm going to say a little prayer. This is the prayer I say when I do healing work. You can say however you wish. What the guide says is, call it whatever you want, but call it. So here we go. We ask here for the presence of the guides of all these beloved ones. We ask for the guides of this healing work. We ask that our prayers that have been made so sincerely, clearly, humbly, truthfully, that have been registered, heard, be answered in ways that we can recognize as such. We ask that all attendant energies to those prayers be illuminated, be transformed. We ask that all that we carry that is no longer of use to us, all energies, all thoughts, all beliefs, all opinions, all illnesses, be transformed in this light, be radiated, and become that which they are becoming. We ask this in the name of the divine ones who watch over us, who heal us, who teach us. And we ask that what we do here be of some good use to all beings in the sacred path of unity, harmony, transformation, illumination, and liberation. Amen. So now breathe and just receive. Pay attention through your heart to what you experience right now. Anything that wants to leave you, any energy which moves, allow it to move. Stay breathing in your heart. Stay aware of the light. Allow it to move, allow it to clean from you. It will be taken to a good place, not recycled into you or anyone else. The light you're receiving is your birthright, also your birthplace. Now's a moment of clearing for you and for others. Hold the space. Pay attention to how you know that something is being lifted off. Light comes and it activates. Light is an activator. Like that. Breathe. Go back to your grounding, your centering. Open even further to light. Pay attention to the tube in the behind your head. Relax your neck. Like that. Like that. Your aura is a jar with the neck of the jar going up behind your head. Light is coming down, filling that entire jar, filling your aura, filling your vehicle, filling all the layers of your bodies, gathering to it that which has been begging to be transformed, to be taken to light. All the old thoughts, the old feelings, unraveling the trauma thoughts, the binding thoughts that have held your pain to you. There's nothing to deserve, it's just to receive. Your receiving is your deserving. Just be in the experience of the vibration. Your mind is going to try to interpret, give explanation. The explanation is you're receiving light. Your old habits are going to say, well, it's not enough, or I'm not enough, or you're just receiving light. Breathe in your center. Breathe in your heart. And now look, feel in the center of your heart chakra, as the guide says, underneath the underneath the underneath. The place of light. Beyond personality, beyond identity, like that. Now in this light, keep receiving it. And in your new prayer now, send light to those who are in your circle who need this light. Not by denying your own light, by increasing your own light so that it overflows and you send it to your children, to your mother, to your father, to your loved ones, to your partners, to your animals, to your now we call light for all the ones on earth. All the creatures, the human creatures, the beyond human creatures, the non-human creatures. Because light is infinite. So it overflows from my heart, from your heart, from this circle, a ripple. And we ask that the clouds of thought that surround the mental body of the earth part. And on this solstice, in this moment, and here now on earth, we call light to penetrate to the planet itself. To give comfort, to give aid, to give solace, to give life. Now come back to the awareness of light for you. And if it feels right in this moment for you, make a pledge inside you about your relationship with light and your relationship with those guides, those beings, those helpers who ride on the light. What do you choose in terms of that relationship? What do you choose in terms of what you wish to do with this light as it increases in you? Be grounded. Be grounded. Be clear. Be truthful. Be simple. We ask that you remember this moment. How to do that? There are ways, there are technological ways, but there are ways to invoke a memory, to engrave a memory, and to ask those very beings who are now in attendance to you to remind you, not just those who you would classify as guides, but those you classify as friends. Humans need to be reminded and need to remind each other. It's part of the beauty and the challenge. Remember this moment as you go forth in this next period of time, which, as you already know, has some very difficult challenges, and there are more ahead. Use this circle if you choose. Use this space as you feel called for reinforcement, for perspective, for light. We ask this one to open this space of light, to be available for the strengthening of each one. A time such as this offers opportunity to cut to the bone, to cut to the truth, to open the space that otherwise might be held in by so many questions, by so much fear. The opportunity of such a time is to, as you would say, cut through all that to what is real, what is true, what is necessary. May you be blessed right now with the peace of Christ in your hearts. May you take this gift of this solstice to be that through your breath, through your grounding, through your invocation, through your relationship with light. May you feel the peace of that light in your heart. May you come to know yourself as this light, as this peace. May you be an emissary simply by the radiation that comes through your heart and your eyes. May this be a referent. May this be a comfort. And may this be the nest that you come to rest in as you fly about the business of being a human being. We ask that you remember this moment, remind each other of it, come together as you feel called. All is well, all will be well, and all manner of things shall be well. We leave you in this peace, but as we say, we never leave you. And to repeat what was said before, call us whatever you wish to call us, but call us. So come back to the awareness of your heart. Come back to the awareness of the circle of witness supporting you, holding you, celebrating with you the new steps you've taken, however many they are, how big they are. And as you can, be aware of your blessed vehicle. Be aware of the breath enlivening you. Be aware of the miracle of your fingers. And then come back to be with all of us again for us to finish this moment and open up the next. So let us know. Obviously, we are being guided / ordered to do this more often. That was very clear from what he said. So we will. Absolutely. Absolutely. The thing I've learned in my life is everything goes better when I pay attention and do what I'm encouraged in order to do, especially if it feels right. So we'll let you know. The other thing we will let you know is we are going to do in-person workshops again. We've developed a way to do ceremonies in this time that has been quite successful. The plan is to do workshops in March and April here at the House of White Eagle in Oregon. Some of you have been here. How many of you will be? Right after this call, you'll see on the little chat thing the opportunity to even start registering it. There it is. It's up to you. Come as you feel called. It's my honor to be of use to you. That was my prayer. That was my other prayer. I want to be of use. I want to be of use, right? Growing up and seeing so much need. Also need in me, but also need. There's lots of need. Lots of help is needed. So whatever we can be of use to you, right? There's lots of things to look at on the website. There's lots of classes that have already been recorded. As one of my guys once said, he said, it's all babble. If my babble appeals to you, listen to my babble. If you like somebody else's babble more, listen to their babble. We're in a time of prophecy. We're in a time of prophecy, which means there's some really high, beautiful, truthful, simple, helpful things being said, and there's a bunch of also. The heart helps me discern. If you wish to come and be with us, please do. In any case, peace be upon you, light be with you, truth be revealed to you, health permeate you. May you know that you are not alone, even if you in these days end up having to do what some of us have to do and be in your house and right, make precautions. You are not alone. Call whatever you want, but call. Okay?